looking okay here in this video. This is sort of a video reply to this gal here. I'll provide her link underneath this video and more, but just the same. This is a video reply. Okay, I sort of felt like doing this. This gal brought up some interesting things. Okay, what happened to her, but anyhow, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by showing you this, and I'll be right back with you.
I had a date this last weekend where my date and we were playing air hockey. I was beating him because I had kind of cheated a little bit, but by the scoreboard was I had the highest score. This guy came up and wanted to play. He thought my date was winning. So when he found out that I was the winner, he said, well, I want to play the winner. And my date didn't really have any objection, and I just looked at the two and I was like, okay. And I saw my date just kind of, his body language was, well, he just kind of stepped aside and allowed this guy to interrupt our evening and play. So he put his money in, and then he became very antagonistic and arrogant and started to taunt me. I won't repeat some of the things that he said, but what I want to talk about is how the behavior went on. My date's physical behavior was that he stepped aside and he's listening to this guy talk to me in a very disrespectful and rude way. Not only that, he interrupted our date. And I called the guy on his behavior, and I said, well, is it considered gentlemanly of you to interrupt a date like this? And his response was yes. So it was very awkward for me as a woman because I didn't want to embarrass my date by, I would have had to come up and tell the guy off, and I would have had to have been the aggressor in this situation because my date just simply stepped aside. He didn't say, no, I'm on a date. I don't, so basically he stepped aside and he allowed this guy to taunt me and basically shared his date with this other guy.
Okay, what'd you see there? Okay, now what I wanted to say about that, what you just heard us say there, is it's wrong. It's periodically wrong because this guy has no business interfering with another guy while he's on a date to try to take that guy's date away from you. But see, in today's society, we're in a world where nobody cares about nobody, and it's all about ourselves, and it's an animalistic world, and it's the survival of the fittest biology stuff straight from Adolf Hitler in the depths of hell, okay? Pure evil. Evil's replaced good. So this guy thinks it's perfectly normal, and that's why it was okay with him that he was hitting on another guy's girlfriend while they were, this girl, while she's on her date with this guy, and this guy that's her date is seeing this stuff, and I understand her feelings about what's going on here, okay? But anyhow, I want to show you this other part, and then I'll be right back with you.
In the 50s, that would have been a no-brainer. A guy would have just, any guy would have just said, hey, back off, she's my date. No questions asked, or that would have never happened. So the thing I find interesting about this experience, yes, granted, there are probably some things I could have behaved or done differently, but as a woman, I don't want to have to be put in that position of being the aggressor. I know that there are guys who have gone out on dates with women who they open the doors for women, and women will kind of jump down their throats and be like, I'm a woman, I'm independent, you don't have to open the door for me. And that's just ridiculous. Not only that, it's rude. When a guy is trying to be a gentleman and be chivalrous, let him open the door. In fact, and I think all guys should do that, but I also think all women should shut their mouths and allow a man to be a gentleman when he's trying to do so. And I know that there probably have been cases where maybe this type of situation where I had on my date, or a guy was talking rudely to a woman, and a guy has since stepped in to protect her or protect her honor, which is what used to happen in the old days, but then now, like, women will turn on the person who is trying to protect them. So I don't know if maybe my date probably thought I could have jumped down his throat, which is unfortunate because in my eyes, he would have been considered more attractive had he stepped up to the plate to show himself up to be the man.
Okay, now there's see, back in the olden days, the guy would have defended her. He would have stepped up to the plate and he would have become a man. He would have done the manly thing. Well, there's a problem here already, okay? He shouldn't have to be stepping up to the plate because this guy come over and hit on us. Okay, and neither should she. I understand that she felt she's the one that was going to have to be aggressive and she shouldn't have to be aggressive. In this situation, in today's society, unfortunately, you're going to have to be aggressive, but technically it should have been both of them. If both of them, if her and him together, had ripped into this guy, hey, what are you doing? We're on a date right now. We don't want to be bothered by you. And if both of them would have said this guy would have went on his way. But because the guy stood back and let the girl blah blah, and then she didn't stand up for herself neither, because she's expecting him to stand up for her. Do you follow what I'm saying? She's expecting him to stand up for her. This social conditioning has taught the girl that the guy has to be her protector. Okay, but that's social conditioning. That's all that is. Because he don't have to be her protector, but if they're on a date together, they should be looking out for one another. Okay? And to look out for one another means you stand to the plate together. Sure, he's not going to let no harm come to her, but the guy that's hitting on it needs to hear it from both of them, especially her. So he should be right there too, though. That's my opinion, okay? That's my opinion. But anyhow, watch this next.
And anyway, it was very strange and awkward experience, and it's unfortunate that I had to go through that, but it was definitely a learning experience. So, and I also found out, it's like, I think women need a protector. Women need to stop trying to be the man and be the aggressor. There was a scientific study I listened to on the radio. I don't know if anybody knows of the study. Please let me know. I've Googled it. I can't seem to find the source. A scientist was doing a study on mice. It was a population of 8 mice grown in a very small confined area, and the population grew to about 220. What happened when the population grew in a very small quarter, the male mice abandoned their position as the protector. The females, therefore, became more aggressive, and the babies, the children mice, became more self-indulgent and stopped mating and reproducing. And I think that could possibly be, I mean, of course, are we men or are we mice? And I don't know if that could be indicative to what's happening with the human population, with what feminism might be doing to men and women, also in both roles and both genders. I firmly believe that I think society works much better when women and men have defined gender roles. That way, nobody gets confused. So,
okay, now what you see there, okay, feminism, gender roles, that's right, she talked a little bit about the feminism. She don't know what was the feminist movement. Well, let me tell you something. The feminist movement was only here for specific reasons. To get the woman out of the household, to put more money in the bankers' pockets by putting the women in the workplace so they could take taxes from them, their pay, and to destroy the family unit. That's right, to furtherly divide the sexes, to completely, utterly divide the sexes. Okay? Example given when she says we should go back to traditional gender roles. Let me ask you this. Where the hell did gender roles come from? Who gave gender roles? Where did gender roles come from? I'll tell you what, your global elite fed it to you. Why should there ever be gender roles to identify a girl from a guy? You mean you can't tell this girl as a girl? You mean your eyes don't work? I mean, that's division. Don't you understand that? Because that's saying a woman has to only do these specific things and a guy only has to do these specific things. And it's classifying you out as being less than or above. I mean, it's just nothing but plain bullshit division. My feelings to this is, any woman, if she sets her mind to it, she can do anything a guy can do. And any guy, if he sets his mind to it, can do anything a woman can do, with the exception of the fact of burying the child. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's my opinion. Now let's watch this next part. Right back with you.
I was in the bookstore a couple days ago, and I found this book here, and I love Adam Carolla. So in 50 Years We'll All Be Chicks. I've only read the first 2 chapters of it, but it's a really good read. I think he's brilliant. Not only is he speaking truthfully, which is quite sad in some regards, many regards, and he's also quite funny. So there's also a section in here called Where Have All the Fellas Gone? And he is also talking about how most guys probably just call AAA. They don't act like they're going to fix the car, you know. Last week, a girlfriend of mine and we were on our way to a concert, and we got a flat tire. Well, I called AAA, and they didn't show up, and my girlfriend proceeded. She knows how to change a tire, but it was going to take longer for her to do it. So luckily, the highway patrol showed up a lot faster before any of our resources were successful. And the highway patrol who was helping us to change the tire in conversation said that most guys do not even know how to change a tire. And a lot of them, you know, that sounds about accurate to what to what Adam's talking about in this book. So anyway, if you're interested, go check out this book. It's a really good read so far. I'm sorry to say I haven't read the whole thing to give you a book review, but I just wanted to share that experience about my date this last weekend, and that I thought it was really kind of unfortunate that some guys maybe just they're so confused as far as reacting and protecting women. So that's all I had to say about that. Thanks for watching, and keep on checking.
Okay, now what'd you see there? You know, I done a video on this, and I've already got it up on my channel, and you need to find it and you need to look at it. Showing you how society has forced everything into women, okay? All the market industry markets everything to women. Everything's marketed to women, marketed to women, marketed to women. That's right, that's the division of the genders. That's the reason that happens. Okay, everything is marketed to women, and the court system and the laws and everything is to the women. Not to the men, to the women. The men are constantly being suppressed and walked all over by the court system by other men because of women. Do you understand? So the women are generally walking all over the men on a regular basis, and that's no lie. This is why she's holding up this book that she says is a good read. Because this good read says in 50 years we'll all be chicks. That's right, because of the deliberately feminizing the men. They destroyed the family, completely, utterly destroyed the family. They've shoved pornography, everything that's corrupt down your face from the time you was a child. They've destroyed morals, self-respect. They've destroyed anything that was good is completely gone and destroyed. And here she is bragging about, I'm not saying she's bragging about it, but I'll tell you what, a good read, huh? 50 years we'll all be chicks. See, that's saying, well, bye men, you've lost your balls. Bye men. See, women are stepping up and becoming men now, and men are becoming women. Are we all going to be chicks? Well, maybe we will be, because there are some women out there that think guys should die out, ain't there? Yeah, there is. And I've seen it. I mean, it's just, this is straight division. This is what your global elite have brought you. And this is pure division. But that's what I had to say. Leave your comments and opinions.